Jaja Janarandana Jamuna Tira Jamuna Tira Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shantai Go Sundar ki jai, Jai Go Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 18, text number 9. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kérem, szorul. Ez egy próbálom.
Swasti Astu Vivasya Kala Prasidatam Dhayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitho Diya Manas Cha Bhadram Bhajatam Adhok Saje Avesyatam No Mati Api Ahaituki Swasti Asto Vivasya Kala Prasidatam Swasti Astu Vivasya Kala Prasidatam Dhayantu Bhutani Sivamitho Diya Manascha Bhadram Bhajatat Adhok Saje Avesyatam No Matirapi Ahaituki. Swasti, officiousness. Astu, let there be. Vivasya, of the entire universe. Kala, the angels. Almost everyone. Prasidatam, let there be pacified. Dhayantu, let them consider. Bhutani, all the living intelligence. All the living entities. Shivam, auspiciousness. Mitha, mutual. Dhiya, by the intelligence. Mana, the mind. Cha, and Bhadram, calmness. Bhajatat, let be experienced. Adhok Saje, in the Supreme Person of Godhead, who is beyond the perception of mind, intelligence and senses. Avesyatam, let it be absorbed. Na, our Mati, intelligence. Api, indeed. Ahaituki, without any motive. Translation. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm, by practicing Bhakti Yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. Purport. The following verse describes a Vaishnava. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Just like a desired tree, a Vaishnava can fulfill all the desire of anyone who takes shelter of his lotus feet. Prahlad Maharaj, a typical Vaishnava, he prayed not for himself, but for all living entities, the gentle, the envious, and the mischievous. He always thought the welfare of the mischievous person like his father, Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad Maharaj did not ask for anything for himself. Rather, he prayed for the Lord to excuse his demoniac father. This is the attitude of a Vaishnava, who always think of the welfare of the entire universe. Srimad-Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Dharma are means for a person who are completely free from envy, Parama Nirmas Saranam. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj prayed in this verse, Kala Prasidatam. May all the envious person be pacified. The material world is full of envious persons, but if one free himself of envy, he becomes liberal in his social dealing and can think of others' welfare. Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord, cleanse his mind of all envy. Manas cha bhadram bhajatat adhok sache. Therefore, we should pray to Lord Nrsimhadev to sit in our heart. He should pray, Pahir Nasimho, Hidahe Nasimho. Let Lord Nrsimhadev sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. Let my mind become cleansed, so that I may peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given us a very fine purport in this regard. Whenever one offers prayers to the Supreme Person of Godhead, one always requests some benedictions from Him. Even pure devotee, Nishkama, devotee pray for some benediction as instructed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his 6th Shastra. Ayi nanda tanuja kinkaram patitamam vishame bhavam budo kripaya tava pada pankajastita dhuri satvisam vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atom at your lotus feet. In another prayer, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mama Janmani Janmanish Bhave Bhavatad Bhakti Ahai Tuki Tvai. Life after life, can you let me have unalloyed love and devotion as your Lordship lotus feet. When Prahlad Maharaj chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya, he prayed for the benediction from the Lord, but because he is also an exalted Vaishnava, he wants nothing for his personal sense gratification. The first desire expressed in his prayer is Swasti Astu Vivasya. Let there be good fortune throughout the entire universe. Prahlad Maharaj thus requested the Lord to be merciful to everyone, including his father, a most envious person. According to Chanakya Pandit, there are two kinds of envious living entities. One is a snake, and another is a man like Hiranyakashipu, who by nature envious to everyone, even of his father or son. Hiranyakashipu was envious to his little son Prahlad, but Prahlad Maharaj asked a benediction for the benefit of his father. Hiranyakashipu was very envious of the devotees, but Prahlad wished that his father and other demons like him would give up the envious nature by the grace of the Lord and stop harassing the devotees. Kala Prasidatam. The difficulty is that the Kala, the envious living entities, is rarely pacified. One kind of Kala, a snake, can be pacified simply by mantra or by the action of particular herb. Mantro sadhi vasa sarpa kala kena nivaryate. An envious person, however, cannot be pacified by any means. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj prayed that all the envious person may undergo a change of heart and think of the welfare of others. If Krishna conscious movement spread all over the world, and if by the grace of Krishna everyone accepts it, the thinking of an envious person will change. Everyone will think of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj prayed, Siva Mito Dhiya. In the material activities, everyone is envious of others, but in Krishna consciousness, no one is envious of anyone else. Everyone think of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj prayed that everyone's mind may become gentle by being fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna, Bhajatat Adhok Sache, as indicated elsewhere in Srimad-Bhagavatam, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo, and advised by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 1865, Man Mana Bhava Mad Bhakta. One should constantly think of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, then one's mind will certainly be cleansed. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Materialists always think of sanctification, but Prahlad Maharaj prayed that the Lord mercy will change their mind and they will stop thinking of sanctification. If they think of Krishna, always everything will be alright. Some people argue that if everyone thought of Krishna in that way, the whole universe would be vacated, because everyone would go back home, back to God. And however, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this is impossible because the living entities are unnumberable. If one set of living entities are actually delivered by Krishna conscious movement, another set will fill the entire universe. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Salakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sunyavani Prastatya Vishtarini Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nasta Prayesho Bhadresho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastaki. It's quite long purport. Prabhupada explaining the characteristic of a Vaishnava. And here Prahlad Maharaj is expressing his prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev that let there be peace for all of the universe. And this is the fifth chapter, and the fifth canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam is describing the blessing of the Jambudvipa of prayers. And previously there's all the 9 islands and different personalities are offering prayers. And one of the island, I don't know which one it is, but here in Lord Nrsimhadev, Prahlad Maharaj is offering prayers. And we understand also in King Purusha Bharsha, Hanuman is offering prayers, and also in one of the islands, Lakshmi Devi offers prayers, and Ayama also. So like that, there are different dvipa, 9 dvipa, created by Maharaj and Priyavata. We understand that in the 5th canto, he was so dissatisfied the rotation of sun movement. So by his will, by his chariot will, he created this island, and practically he was following the sun god. And by his rim of the chariot, he created the island, separated different ocean of milk, ocean of salt water, ocean of crystal clear water, ocean of milk, yogurt, like that. So there's different islands, and in each island, there's particular personalities, and we understand in this island, Prahlad Maharaj is is worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev in that particular way. And previous to this verse, we understand the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Nrsimhadev. So this is the planetary system is describing. We understand in Srimad-Bhagavatam there's 10 subject matters, and one of the subject is planetary system, where the planets are situated, means the universe. Atro sarga visargascha sthanam posanam sthaya manvantara anikatham nirodho mukti asraya. This is the 10th subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And sthana means the planetary system. So this is going on. And here Prahlad Maharaj is offering prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev. And of course, a pure devotee is very compassionate to all living entities. This is one of the characteristics of a pure Vaishnava, 26 qualities. And also Prahlad Maharaj is one of the Mahajan authorities. So when one becomes a devotee, he develops all the good qualities of demigod. This is described in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam. Also, Yamaraj is describing to Yamaduta. When one becomes a devotee, he develops all the good qualities. And even to the materialistic, even to the envious person. So he's always giving, a devotee is always giving, whereas a materialist is always taking. And here Prahlad Maharaj he want that the demon get pacified because they are disturbing element. But Hiranyakashipu was such a great terrorist, he terrorized the whole universe. Everywhere, all of the universe. Even the trees on the described everywhere, all of the universe. Even the trees on the described in the 7th canto, even the trees, they have to give fruits all the year round. Usually the fruits give season, there was time of break, but Hiranyakashipu ordered them they should provide the fruits, Even to the trees, he did not spare the trees. So you could see how, always he wanted selfishness. And he went to the lower planetary system where the Nagas or the snake, and he took the jewels and he stole the wives of the Nagas. And even to the Gandharvas, there were singers, so he employed them in their service without any remunerations. We see that in the prayers when Hiranyakashipu was died, all the personalities of the universe they was glorifying Lord Nrsimhadev, and in their prayers they expressed their feeling toward the Lord and how they were happy that Hiranyakashipu was dead. So like that, and a pure devotee is always looking welfare of the whole universe, and he wants in this. Also, we see the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Srila Srinivas Thakur in his stanza prayers, are Sat Goswami prayers. In the first line, Krishna Kirtana Gananatan Paro and Nirmatsara Pujito. Even to the envious person, without any envious, they are distributing Krishna consciousness because a pure devotee is not envious to anyone. And he wants to spread Krishna consciousness, and in this way, there will be peace all over the world. And Srila Prabhupada also did that. Srila Prabhupada was living in Vrindavan very happily. He could perform his bhajan, but he never thought about himself. He was singing the welfare of the universe and to the whole world. And that's why he is upon his own inconvenience, he left Vrindavan and spread Krishna consciousness for the welfare of the whole humanity. And we are very grateful to Srila Prabhupada, and we also try to develop these qualities and whatever we have learned, and we give to people. It's just like descending process. So instead of taking, we should give, and this is our best policy. The demons, they want always for myself, me, everything, me. But devotees, is always giving to the people whatever they have, and this will bring real peace in the world. So here I say that the snake, the materialistic people, the envious people, they're just like the snake, they just want to give trouble, even to innocent persons. This is a nature. And Hiranyakashipu was like that. Ravan also, the name of Ravan means to put trouble to others, giving trouble, that was his name, the meaning of Ravana. So this is pure materialistic person, but again, the stream of materialists, this is a stream of devotees. In the seventh canto, we see Prahlad Maharaj, the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj were the highest, whereas, among the demon, Hiranyakashipu was extreme, two different opposite paths. One is demon and one is a great devotee. And Prahlad Maharaj, he was constantly meditating on the Lord. He was always thinking of the Lord. And that is Smaranam. He's well known for Smaranam. In a novel, in the ninth process of devotional service, the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So Prahlad Maharaj, he was well known for Smaranam, for remembering the lotus feet of the Lord constantly. And when the Lord wanted to give him benediction, Prahlad Maharaj did not want for anything for himself. He said, instead he prayed, if the Lord, oh my Lord, if you really want to give benediction, please deliver my father. Even the same father who tortured him in many different ways. All this has been explained in seven kinds of how Hiranyakashipu tortured Prahlad Maharaj in different way. Because the Lord, he was protecting Prahlad Maharaj, and no weapon could touch him. So all the weapon, the fire weapon, the water weapon, the earth weapon, all this type of weapon was, could not work on Prahlad Maharaj because the Lord was protecting him. And in the end, Hiranyakashipu got so mad that he wanted to kill him himself. And of course, the Lord came to protect him. Lord Nrsimhadev, he came to protect Prahlad Maharaj. And even the great demigod, they could not pacify the Lord. The Lord, he showed the Ugra, extreme angry. And even the great demigod, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, all the different personalities, they was offering prayers, but they could not pacify the Lord. And instead, the Lord became more angry. And finally, Lord Brahma said, Prahlad Maharaj, you go, please pacify the Lord because he has appeared just to give protection of you. And then Prahlad Maharaj said, oh Lord, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of your ferocious form. I'm not afraid of your your nail, your sharp fangs, and your appearance. I'm not afraid of you. And then finally, the Lord pacified, and he took Prahlad Maharaj on his lap, and the Lord started licking him just like an affectionate lion licking his cub, you know. So then Lord Nrsimhadev was so pacified. And then the Lord said, Prahlad, ask any benedictions, you know. And then the Lord and Prahlad Maharaj said, no, I don't want anything from you, my Lord. You know, I don't want to entangle in the material life, you know. And then he said, if anybody want material benediction, it's just like business, you know, like a vanik. Vanik means a person who's doing business. So my business is only to have to worship you without any motive, you know, anya vilasita sunyam, you know, pure devotional service without any fructive or speculative knowledge. I want to have your devotion life after life. But if you really want to give me benediction, please deliver my father, Hiranyakashipu. So we see that a pure devotee, he's always, he want even to his father who tortured him in so many different ways, but he wanted, you know, welfare of his father. And also Prahlad Maharaj said, I don't want to be here. I don't want to get liberated. I want to be here in the material world to deliver other living entities, those who are suffering. And another prayers, he said that there are some devotees that just do bhajan for their own spirituality, but I want to remain here in the material world to deliver other living entities, compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. And similarly, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Lila, there was a great devotee, Vasudeva Datta is well known. When Mahaprabhu came to Navadvip from Jagannath Puri, he met many devotees, and one of the devotees was Vasudeva Datta, and he had a similar mood of delivering living entities, just like Prahlad Maharaj. He said, my Lord, please transfer all the sinful activities of living entities. Let me suffer. Let other living entities go back to Godhead. You know, that was a mood of Vasudeva Datta, similarly expressed just like Prahlad Maharaj. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy, very pleased with him. He said, just by devotee like you, caliber of devotee like you, just by your willing, you can deliver all living entities from the universe. You know. And here, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, even the whole universe living entity go back to Godhead, there'll be another set of living entities. The living entity will fill up again the universe. You know. Yeah. So living entities will be always there in the material world because they are unlimited living entities. You know. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you know, if imagine in a jar there's so many mustard seed, and if one mustard seed is, you know, it's lost, there's nothing lost. So if in one universe all the living entities go back to Godhead, you know, so nothing is lost. You know, there's so many universes in the material world. You know, it's just like bubbles in the ocean. You know. So if one universe is just burst out, so there's nothing lost. So if in the all living entities in the universe can liberate and go back to Godhead, so still there's millions and unlimited amount of universes in the ocean, in the cosmos oceans. So here the devotees, they're always here to preach Krishna consciousness and deliver living entities. And Narad Muni is our predecessor, is our, you know, he's spreading bhakti. You know, he was born specifically from Lord Brahma to spread bhakti movement. You know, from the bosom of his heart, he described different personalities. Son of Brahma appear from different part of the body of Lord Brahma. You know, in the second canto described. You know, so for the different, you know, and Narad Muni, he appeared from the body of Brahma just to spread Krishna consciousness, to give devotional service, bhakti. While some other son was appear, Daksha is well known for Karma Kanda. The Sanat Kumar that was preaching, the Jnana Kanda, and some of them were Prajapati, great Prajapatis, the 9 sons, Angira Muni, Vasishta, Brigu, all these personalities. They were the patriarchs, they were Prajapatis. But Narad Muni, he came, appeared to give bhakti to the whole universe, and even to Srila Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva is well known for compiling the Vedas, divided the Veda and compiling the Puranas, Mahabharata, because he could foresee the fallen age of Kali, that people are not so sharp and everything is diminished. The Brahminical quality is diminished, the age is diminished, the memory is diminished, the good qualities are all diminished. So for the welfare of people, he divided the original Veda into 4 parts, and then he wrote the Samhitas, the Puranas. But still he was not satisfied within the heart, because unless one is given the full narration of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will not satisfy, the heart will not satisfy. And Srila Narad Muni came and he showed Srila Vyasadeva the defect. The only reason you're not satisfied because you haven't exclusively described the glories of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, in the Puranas, it describes different pastimes, but not like Srimad-Bhagavatam. So Srimad-Bhagavatam, the 10th canto exclusively describes the characteristic, the narration of Supreme Personality of God and Sri Krishna Bhagavan. So that was missing. And Narad Muni came and showed to Srila Vyasadeva the defect, why you're not satisfied. And of course, even so, you have written all the Puranas, you have compiled the Vedic literature. And then he requested Srila Vyasadeva to compile Srimad-Bhagavatam, which is a ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. Nigama kalpataru kalitam phalam. So this phalam, the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge is Srimad-Bhagavatam. And this is very dear to the devotees. Srimad-Bhagavatam, Vaishnava Priyam, in the 12th canto is described, Srimad-Bhagavatam is very dear because it describes the glories of Sri Krishna Bhagavan. So like that, Srimad-Bhagavatam, we understand there's 10 subject matter, and there's Saman Bonam, it describes also. So Saman Bonam is to understand the pastime of Sri Krishna Bhagavan. So in order to understand, we have to understand the creation, the sub-creation, the planetary system, how the Lord is maintained a portionum, So by understanding, then we can understand the Saman Bonam, which is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Bhagavan. So like that. So we are dealing in this part of Srimad-Bhagavatam is a sthanam, a different planetary system. In our Mayapur New Temple, there's a model of, the 5th canto Vedic astronomy, the model, and they describe different planetary system, so that people can go and understand it. This is a very difficult subject matter. It's not so easy to understand the 5th canto, but gradually, it's a kind of revelation same time. When one week goes through this many times, then we can have little idea where all the planetary system are working. Our modern astronomer, the scientists, they always, time to time in the news they say that the sun is, have this side, some kind of storm, and they predict that the universe will, collapse someday, but they have no idea. Of course, the universe will collapse. We understand that also, but according to their explanation and Vedic explanation is two completely different things. So like that, and we understand Prahlad Maharaj is same time living in the spiritual world and even in the material world. Srila Prabhupada said, that it's like simultaneously in the spiritual world and also in the material world, like Narad Muni. He can travel everywhere to the spiritual world and in the material world. So I think Prahlad Maharaj in Sutala Loka, where Bali Maharaj is residing, in the next Manvantara, Bali Maharaj will be Indra. So there, Prahlad Maharaj is there in the Sutala Loka with his grandson, Bali Maharaj. Like that. Okay. Anything else you say?
Questions?
Yeah. Comments?
The devotee is always compassionate to those who are unfortunate, but then everybody was happy when he was killed. So sometimes devotees might also be happy that somebody, demon, is killed. Is that contradiction to the compassionate nature of the world?
Well, actually, Prahlad Maharaj himself gives the answer. He says, sometime, and Hiranyakashipu, he was like a headache of the whole universe. Because all the demigod was scared. They say that even when Hiranyakashipu he raised eyebrow, the demigod was hiding behind the cloud. So all living entities, it was a headache of the whole universe. So when Hiranyakashipu died, and Prahlad Maharaj said, sometimes the devotees also happy when they see a snake die. And scorpion, he used a word, he used a snake and a scorpion. Because these creatures, they are just meant to give trouble. Without any reason, they just bite, because the nature of the snake. And even if you feed them milk and banana, the venom increase more. So, and if this creature died, there's no harm because, the creature usually they bite innocent person. But if such person died, it's just like a snake, and sometimes within the heart, of course, he expressed, not joy, but he expressed that, relief to the innocent person that he get, so what I meant to say that a devotee is the demon, when they died, Ravana also when he died, the demigod they praise. We see that in Krishna book many times when the demon died, the demigod they praise and says throw flowers. Because this is the nature of demon and devotees, there's two parties, the demon and the demon and the demigods. So we see that in Krishna book, many places where the demon was killed and the demigod they throw flowers and they worship the Lord and they was dancing. Apsara was dancing. There was musical instrument played by the Gandharvas and the demigod they chanted the stutis. So this is they show a kind of happiness. It become a festival, So in that mood, we worship the Lord. And so what harm if such a demon died there just like snake, and they express their feeling. So Prahlad Maharaj, he said that even if a snake is died, a saintly person, he felt a kind of joy. So even so, he is my father, and he expressed this kind of joy at the same time. So of course, when someone, the Lord killed Prahlad Maharaj falls in front of him, and Prahlad Maharaj did not protest. Instead, he showed happiness. By telling the sloka, even a snake died and scorpion died, a saintly person feel happy. So the demon, it depends which degree of demon it is. Somehow we also have these qualities. When we become devotee, don't think we don't have the quality. What we are doing here by practicing sadhana bhakti, we are cleansing our heart. We're trying to get from these qualities and coming to the qualities of devas. So ourselves we are cleansing, and devotees, we try to see not bad qualities as others by fault finding, So there's so many anartha by practicing, and we develop the good qualities automatically. The good qualities develop, and we appreciate even as any personality, even simple devotee, from the beginning, who are practicing Krishna consciousness to those devotees who have been practicing for a long time. So and the first offense is described to blaspheme the devotee who preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. So this is anartha, against the holy name, the 10 offenses. So we when we practice Krishna consciousness, we try to apply this, this injunction, which is very important to advance in Krishna consciousness. And if you want really to attain the love of Godhead, and we try to avoid these 10 offenses, beginning from offending the devotees, So it's there, and to implement is that's we are trying to do, implement these qualities, this principle of devotional service. It's very important. Yeah.
Another question. You mentioned that the devotee needs to give and demon is to take. So then, for instance, that's if you are in a grihasthrashram, then you start thinking, oh, it must be a demon. It's giving so much. So where do the, I mean, there's this principle of Isavasam.
Yeah, Prabhupada gives the example, and of course, it's according to time, place, and circumstance how you practice it. Prabhupada said that a grihastha, he should spend 50% of his income in Krishna conscious activities. And he gives the example of 6 Goswamis. Rupa Goswami, nectar of devotion. He divided his wealth, 50%. Yes, and then he said, he divided the families, and then 20% he keep for emergency use, like that. So it's a formula, Prabhupada. But I think Kavichanda Maharaj, there was one lecture, he talked about this topic, and to apply this in the current situation, But the main point is giving is not only just give your money. If you can give anything, if you give your time to a person, to Krishna consciousness, your way, how to how you deal with the society, this is all play a role, giving, instead of taking. So even in difficult situation, devotee always, spontaneously, sometimes they react, they give. So giving, you not need to give only your salary, I mean your income, but also many things, your time, your valuable, your quality, whatever manas or mind, and Bhakti Thakur in his Brahmana Sankeho Deho, Jokichumo, Anaptu Pilo, my Nanda Kishore, the Lord, I offer everything, my house, my mind, So that's his full surrender.
So that's also possible in the
Yeah. You see, so when the house, everything belongs to the Lord. If you have this, then it's becoming salvation. Concept of. But that's why I said the Kanishta Adhikari, he see for only he did not give proper respect to the devotees. He worshipped the Lord, but he failed to to notice as other devotees give respect to others. Whereas a Madhyamadhikari, he preached, he made the difference, between the envious person and the innocent person. There was a Uttamadhikari, he see everybody devotees. That also. Three categories of devotees. And Prahlad Maharaj, he's on topmost level. He did not see anybody, and he see everybody, Krishna consciousness. That was his level of Krishna consciousness. And whereas a Madhyamadhikari, he makes a difference. In order to preach, you have to make the distinction.
Be sentimental.
Yeah. Yeah, that also is there, But rather Kanishta he sees his own practice, with the Lord. He failed to recognize others. So the gradual process, when we advance in Krishna consciousness, we see the difference also. Hari Hari Nai. Gandhara Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.